Hello, I'm Simon Allars, husband of Sandra, and I work with her in the business. I have done from the very beginning, doing all the admin. I often refer to myself as the admin slave, but I am allowed out now and again, one of those being today, to interview Sandra about mindset. So she's got a lot to say about this kind of stuff, so I'm going to try and keep her on track with a few questions that we worked out prior to the interview. Hello, Sandra.
Hi.
The first question is, when did you realise that you thought differently to most people?
When I met you. I've always wanted to run my own business. I think business is in my DNA, as both sides of my grandparents have run small businesses and my uncles run a small business, so it really is in my DNA. And mindset is very much staying focused, staying positive, building up the inner person within you, making sure that you have self-belief, which is really, really important in running a small business. And mindset is one of those topics that you need to stay focused. I think in some respects leaders are readers, so I read a lot, listen to a lot of podcasts. I've done a course called Business on Purpose. Done a lot of courses, business mentors. So I think staying focused is the most important thing.
So when you actually first realised that these things were quite apparent in your mindset, I've got notes here as well, when you started having kids and they were going to school. So trying to fill time, or you had the opportunity then to start thinking about things like that?
I think so, yeah. I had a normal job working in a call centre. I did that for 6 years while I had the 3 girls. And I was a bit over answering the phones, to tell you the truth.
I did the same thing. I worked in the call centre for 4 or 5 years, several different ones. And I look back now and I think, well, how on earth did I manage to do that? But sometimes it's these things, these steps as you go through life. You're learning things all the time, and so your mindset is constantly changing, but you can still pick up things from what might seem mundane jobs. Would you agree with that? You know, you've learned skills through your customer service days that have helped you in what you do now.
Oh, absolutely. Handling rejection. You know, being sales orientated in a call centre, you had to make the phone call, you had to make a sale, and I don't know how many phone calls you had to make one sale, and handle rejection and all of that. So that's really important, to go through all of that to handle running a small business, because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have people hang up on you, say no, I'm not interested. But to keep moving forward is really important.
Another good one here that just popped into my mind, that happens now and again, a good idea. I usually have to have a lie down when that happens, but I'm all right at the moment. Conflict. When working in call centres, both of us have worked in call centres, you get a lot of conflict. You have to resolve these phone calls with angry people. Is there anything in particular that you've learned from that, or something that springs to mind?
I think staying calm, keeping your voice as level as you possibly can. Don't raise your voice, keeping it very calm, because they're not really angry at you personally. They're annoyed, or for whatever reason they're having a bad day, or the service for the company that we worked for didn't work, or for whatever reason they're not. So it's not for us to take it personally, but it's to resolve their issues in the best possible way we can with what we've got at
and also,
hand.
yeah, that's good. And also listening, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, be a good listener.
Be a good listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You've done quite well. I've kept you on topic here.
Oh, good.
Good. All right. So the second question, explain to me how, this is one of Sandra's favourite sayings, explain to me how you work backwards to move forwards. You're always saying, figure out where I want to go and work backwards. So what do you mean by that, keeping the end in mind, that kind of thing?
Oh, that's what I usually do is, say, for example, you want to increase your sales, you want to grow your business, say, by 100,000 that particular year. What will it take? How many sales do you need to make? Will that affect your marketing? How many do you need to put on more staff? So basically, you have a goal or a target in mind, and you have to work out backwards in bite-sized pieces or baby steps on how you're going to do that. So that's important.
Yeah, that illustrates the difference between my mindset and Sandra's, because I'm a number cruncher. I just look at the figures, A to B, A to B to C. Sandra's A to P to Q to Z, and then back to C. She has the ability to see the whole picture, and not a lot of people do that. It's really important to have someone in the business who can see the bigger picture. You need a blend of both, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I think you need, in order to run any business, you need a visionary person to have the helicopter view of where you're going and all the different departments and what it takes to run that. It's a bit like running a bus. I'm the person at the front running the bus, knowing where the direction, driving the bus, having the direction, and the other people are putting them in their right positions. And sometimes you need to stop the bus, open the door and let people out off your bus, and then let other people in on the bus. So that's basically staff changes. In the other series that we had, we went from the garage to having my first premises and hiring staff, which we've both done. And who's that person for that position, whether it be marketing, HR, training, the hub, which is our workflow, and having the right people in that right position is really important. So my job as obviously the director and the founder is to have the helicopter view and making sure everyone's in the right positions on the bus as we drive it forward.
I'm still on the bus after all this time. Doesn't quite kick me
I'm only kidding.
So another thing, just before we move on to the next question, was we've got here the aged care course. I mean, Sandra's been talking about this aged care course since like 1633, and when she first mentioned it to me, my head exploded basically, because I couldn't see it. I thought, how on earth are we ever going to do that? It's just too hard. And that's the difference between mindset, isn't it? I'm a detail person. This one's a butterfly, so she'll hop from she'll flitter from one thing to another, and that's okay because we've understood now how you operate. You tend to touch on all sorts of things, but you don't need to be a detail person, do you? You need to be the person who sets the agenda. So with the course, walk me through a bit about that, how that's been, because we still haven't done it, but we're about to. This year we're going to do it, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
So what I've done is organised. We've done the course as in a manual last year. We ran it at the Olsen, and we had all our team members go through, and we had a whole lot of series of topics of basically understanding aged care. So you're a massage therapist, but you actually work in the aged care industry, and what does that look like? What do home care packages look like? Compliance and all those different details. So what we're going to do is, instead of having face-to-face, we're actually going to put all these units, make it into a video units and the topics, and people can download it and buy it on our website. So that's really a progression of what we've done. I could see the course, how that was going to do, so we spent last year putting all of that together, and then the next step is online.
And coming back to mindset, which is the topic, I'm trying to stay on topic here, that's interesting because we've basically had to filter what's in your mindset, what's in your head, to be able to get to that point where here it is. It's been a long time coming. It's not been an easy process whatsoever, but I think we're both comfortable now that we've tried a few things. We tried things in one-on-one, didn't we? Tried it physically to actually teach the course, but now we've realised that there's a better way, because what you want to do is, your mindset is to educate the next generation of therapists. We can only do so much in the company, and so we need to be able to get what's in your head and share it with the rest of the world. Because let's face it, there's older people everywhere you go, and they have the same issues. They still need the power of touch. They still need to be looked after, and so it's exciting. How do you maintain your mindset and attitude over the years? That's a bit of an open question, but how have you stayed so focused on the business and what you wanted to achieve over the years? I've got some notes here about being grateful.
I think it's important to stay focused. I actually have a grateful diary. So every morning I write up a whole lot of different, 5 things that I'm grateful for, and what I want to do and achieve, and that's really important.
And some other things here, we've got one of your favourite books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So
Yep.
Win-win. And
Sharpen the saw.
seek first to understand, then be understood. Synergise. I think what you're trying to say there is you've fed your attitude over the years. You've maintained it by feeding on good things and reading lots of books.
Yep.
You're very much she's a real highlighter person. She'll get the highlighter of that, and you come across a book and it's covered in orange or yellow. It's like, right, Sandra's had this book. I don't like that. I don't like things like that in my books, so I keep them well away from Sandra. I make her buy her own copy. Okay. So you said, grateful. One of the quotes here is, give to the world the best you have and the best will come back to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
mindset, there we go. Anything else you wanted to summarise with that?
I think with a mindset is being grateful and being a sower. You reap what you sow, and that's what I've always done with massaging. I've spent almost 20 years massaging, and now I don't massage anymore. But how I built the business was I used to give massages away, and I learnt a long time ago that if you reap what you sow. So if I wanted more work in, I gave away work. So I would go out and promote the business, massage at our contracts, massage at nursing homes, retirement villages, and give away hours and hours and hours of massaging. And then the upside is all those hours have come back and more. So that, to me, is a real principle. You reap what you sow. Be a giver, not a receiver.
It's about being generous, isn't it?
Yeah, being generous.
Have a generous mindset.
Yeah.
There you go. That's mindset. Thanks for joining us.